As mentioned, the act of bowing carries with it a number of body language expressions, ranging from submission, an apology, an acknowledgement for hearing Besurat Tovot, and linked with the submission aspect is to bow upon entering and leaving the presence of a controlling authority. Yet, as one reads the Chumash and comes across the statement of Vayedaber Hashem el Moshe countless times, we very rarely find, if ever, information to the effect that Moshe bowed in acknowledgement of God's presence. The reason for this is quite obvious, and that is, it is to be assumed that this is what Moshe did whenever there was a communication between HaKadosh Baruch Hu and himself, which underscores the question, why is it in Pasuk 8 we have a statement to the effect that Vayikod Arza Vayishtachu, and not just that he bowed Vayemaher Moshe, which, according to the Sikha, is the core question that Rashi in his commentary addresses. To this implied question comes Rashi's answer that this bowing comes on account of a special situation, one of acknowledging the Besurat Tovot, but not as we understood previously, the Yud Gimel Midat HaRachamim, but rather to an earlier request that Moshe had made of God. Moshe had requested from HaKadosh Baruch Hu that Hareini na et KEVODCHA, I would like to experience your KEVODCHA, your glory, to which it seems God's response was, Lo tuchal lirot et panai, my face you will not be able to see. Ki lo yirani ha'adam v'chai, for no man can see my face and continue to live. Moshe asks to see the Kvodi. God's response is, you cannot see my face. Inserted between Pasuk 18 and 20 is the following. Vayomer, he, God says, Ani ha'avir kol tuvi al panecha, I will let all of my goodness pass before you. V'karati b'shem Hashem lefanecha, I will proclaim the name of God before you. And then God goes on to say, as per Rashi, but I will still favor whoever I wish to favor, and I will still have compassion to whomever I wish to have compassion. We have here 4 terms that are used that will require clarification and contextualization. The first, kvodi, the second, panai, the third, kol tuvi, and the fourth, b'shem Hashem. What can be seen, however, from the sequence of 3 pasukim is that Moshe makes a request for a revelation of the Shekhinah. In 20, God basically says, you cannot see my true essence, my panai. However, in 19, God agrees to reveal part of the Shekhinah, the tuvi part, reflected in the b'shem Hashem, to Moshe. Rashi attempts to make sense of the events recorded in these 3 pasukim when he writes, Higia sha'ah shetire bichvodi. The time has now arrived that you will be exposed to my kevodi as per your request. The caveat is that this revelation will be limited in scope, only that which ershe otcha lirot, those levels to which I will permit you to have access. Because, as is explained in Pasuk 20, Lo yirani ha'adam v'chai, there are certain levels of Kedusha that if they were to be revealed to man, man would not be able to continue living. This then is the extraordinary piece of information that Moshe hears, namely, not as we noted the Yud Gimel Midat HaRachamim, but rather the fact that God was now going to fulfill, at least in part, his request for Hareini na et KEVODCHA. And it is to this information that Rashi connects the Vayemaher Moshe in Pasuk 8, that Kishara'a Moshe Shechina Overet, when Moshe sees, or at least becomes aware of the fact that the Shechina was about to Overet, this in fulfillment of the commitment by God made earlier that Ani A'avir Kol Tovi Al Panecha, there will be a special revelation that I will give to you and you alone. And furthermore, Moshe hears the Kol HaKriya, not the actual Kriya, the Yud Gimel Midot HaRachmim, but the voice of God as he begins the Yud Gimel Midot HaRachamim, Miyad Vayishtachu. Moshe immediately bows in acknowledgement of the Besurat Tovot for the fulfillment of his request of God, Hareini na et KEVODCHA.